برنی خوش شده. مطمئن خوب شده.
Hello.
Hello. We're here to make some pickled vegetables. This is a very unique style, and I'm sure everybody would like it. Hi. In this video, we're going to show you how we're going to make this pickled vegetables. And there are so many variations of this, but this is a simple one, and you can make it with simple ingredients that you can get out of your grocery store, whatever you might be. And some herbs and spices and vinegar. White vinegar is something that I will use, but you could use apple cider vinegar as well. Some hot pepper. It could be habanero pepper if you like it very spicy, or if you don't like it spicy, you don't have to add any fresh peppers. Celery, carrots, cucumbers, and cauliflowers. Hello. God bless you. Hamsi, where are you from? And if you have any questions while we're making this, please feel free to drop it in the chat. I'm getting some help in the kitchen. My husband's helping me out. So you add the carrots, celery, pepper, into a pot. You can use hot plate or stovetop. Because we wanted to show it to you how it's made, we have the stovetop at the same time. It's a glass pot, so it works better on a hot plate as opposed to an open flame. So when you add the carrots and celery and pepper into the pot, it's time to add the vinegar. This is distilled white vinegar that we're adding to it. As I said, you can use any type of vinegar as you desire, but this is the one that we use because we're adding some turmeric later, and that adds a tad bit of a color into it. So we want to keep it more clear as opposed to opaque. And we let it heat up and get to the boiling point. Hello. Domingo, where are you joining us from? For those of you who are just joining us, we are making pickled of mixed vegetables, including carrot, celery, hot pepper, cauliflower, and cucumbers. At this point, we added carrot, celery, and hot peppers into the pot and added white vinegar into it. As you can see, my husband's preparing the salt, turmeric, tarragon, and a mixture of aromatic herbs that would add more flavor into the mix. After adding the vinegar, we're going to wait for it to boil. We don't want it to boil for too long. At this point, it's just heating up. As we added the spices and herbs into it, we mix it. For those of you who just joined us, the spices that we add was salt, turmeric, tarragon, and a mixture of herbs that will add special flavor into this pickle. This will result in a more tangy flavor at the end. And as we are boiling it, we're gonna have a faster result, meaning it's gonna be ready the same day as you prepare it. You can let it sit for a couple weeks in a dark spot if you don't want to boil it, and that way it will ferment a little bit as well, since it has these vegetables in it. As you can see, we have cauliflower and cucumber to add to the mixture. We're still waiting for it to start boiling up before we add these two, because we don't want these to soften up, as the crunchy part of the cauliflower and cucumber is rather important as the end result. Drop any questions you may have in the chat. We'd be happy to address it. If you like this, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, as we're going to have more live fruit prep. And it could be a mixture of food, salads, sandwiches from different type of cuisine. It's a beautiful day here. We have the sunshine coming through the window. It's all natural lighting, which is very rare at this time of the year. We had a very little amount of snow last night, but it all melted after a couple hours. As you can see, it hasn't boiled yet, but we wanted to show how it looks like in the pot. I like using all these glass pots while they're fragile. Kind of like shows how the food is prepared and how every ingredient is acting as it's boiling up. Again, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. Like us and subscribe to our channel to see more of these type of videos. And I would like to know at what part of the world you're joining us. If you could share that with us, that would be great. We always get the cauliflowers in big chunks, divided in smaller chunks, and wash it, let it dry a little bit. These are all indications, the new ingredients are indications that we're going to make another type of brine pickled vegetables. And we're using the same ingredients, but we're gonna get two different products at the end of the day. I love looking at the sunlight coming through. Hello, Mike. Hey, Josh. Hey, Josh, I'm Sam. We are making pickled vegetables in white vinegar, although you can make it using any other type of vinegars as well. This is what we had in the house, so that's what we're gonna use. And it actually works with any type of vinegar. It will give you the same result, and the acidity may be different slightly. And also the second batch we're gonna make is mixed vegetable pickles in brine. So two different products using almost the same base ingredients, only the solution is different. And if you'd like to see more of these type of products to be made, as well as foods, we're going to be sharing our daily experience with you as we make our meals every now and then. I think the hot plate is taking too long to heat up the mixture, so we transferred it to the stove top to bring it up to the temperature, and we'll bring it back to the hot plate once it's ready. So the base ingredients we're using is just cauliflower, cucumber. You can use snack cucumbers, Persian cucumber, or just regular cucumbers, like chop them, slice them. And carrots, hot pepper, celery. This is great. This is a great pickled mixed vegetables that I learned it from my grandma. This is such a traditional recipe, and especially with the spices and herbs that she mixes with them. Hi, Gloria. Almost getting ready. So for those of you who joined after we made the mix, the mix in the pot, which again, I love using glass pots because I can see how ingredients are moving within the pot as the temperature rises. The ingredients in the pot are carrot, celery, hot pepper. I remove the pepper seeds because we have different opinion as to how hot we want something, and you can keep it if you wish, or you can use small hot peppers or jalapeno, habanero, depending on how hot and spicy you want your pickles to be. And celery, you mix them, put them in the pot, add the vinegar, white vinegar, apple cider vinegar. It all works. And salt, pepper, turmeric, tarragon, as well as some additional mixed herbs. As I said, this is my grandma's recipe. I will put the recipe later on, and hopefully we can put that into a separate video so you all could see. Yes, this could be a soup show, but this is not a soup. This is a mixed vegetable pickles that we're making using distilled white vinegar. We use a lot of this, so we buy vinegar all the time. So turmeric is one of the ingredients that we use. Tarragon, salt. We use another container for the tarragon. And it's these are mixture of herbs. For those of you who just joined us, if you have any questions, comments, if you would like to tell us where you're joining us from, what time zone you're in. We're actually in the Eastern time zone, and we're getting closer to the sunset, but we're still having some, it's a spicy batch, yes. You can make it as spicy or as little spicy as you want. I added some hot Thai pepper into it. Some people like it spicy. I love spicy. My husband doesn't like it as spicy, so we meet at a happy level. And this is a cup of tea. So spicy is really good. Having pickles next to your food would actually help regulate your cholesterol, and that's what I feel, at least. I'm not talking scientifically, it's more of a like personal experience. Honestly, I can eat the whole batch in one sitting, and I shouldn't. As you can see, it's steaming up, so it's almost ready, reaching the boiling point. So as this is reaching the boiling point, we will add the cauliflower and cucumber. One of the reasons that we are adding them later in the process is because we want to preserve the crunchiness of these two elements into as they pickle, they soften up, and one of the joy of having a good pickle is the crunchy and chewiness, the crunchy part of the ingredients. If you want it to be softened, you can boil it with it after it reaches the boiling point, but I normally keep it in the mixture for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how big my batch is. So it is ready to add the rest of the ingredients into it. Apparently it's not boiling yet, but I can see the steam coming off of it. On a cold day like this is one of the best things that you can make. So while we're waiting, if you want to tell us where you are joining us from, or what time zone you're in. We're in the Eastern time zone in the US. And we're getting closer to the sunset. It's Saturday. This is a long weekend, and we truly are enjoying it by staying at home and making this beautiful mixed pickles vegetables. So as I said, you can actually purchase the already cut and small piece of cauliflower, or you can get the cauliflower bunch and cut it into pieces depending on your desired size. The beauty of this is because we're boiling the vinegar, you don't have to worry about drying it. While you can do that if you have time and energy for it, this is not necessarily required. So we realized we don't actually need to do this because we washed these earlier today and they've already dried up. Subscribe to our channel to see more of these type. I'd like to show you everything that I make live, and every now and then I post a video of what I had made at a time that offering live was not an option. As you can see, it's boiling. We reduced the temperature, put it on simmer. And then add the cauliflower at one stage, let it boil for 5 minutes. Cucumbers are more sensitive to temperature, so we'll add them right before we remove this off of the hot plate. We're mixing it. After you mix it well, make sure it's all submerged in the vinegar mixture. You put it on simmer, put the lid on, and time it for about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll check it out 5-minute time check, and hopefully you will get to see what it looks like. All the flavors will be mixed since this is heated. So you can eat it as is. You can actually jar it and use it later as well. If you want to use make this a fermented product, you need to use an airtight container. We already have a large mason jar, which we're going to use, and then easy to open it. We'll have this ready to add our mixture into it and close the lid. I just love to have these on my counter. You can buy this at any store, Amazon, you can buy it Walmart, Target. I actually bought this from Home Goods. So that's one store that I always go to find special type containers. And when I get lucky, I snatch a few. I have this one too, so we're gonna try to see which one will fit the entire mixture. I'm thinking maybe this is a better fit than that one, but they're both airtight with the plastic ring around it. This one has the ring as well, so we'll see. Hello, Sonia. Hi, Nancy. Sometimes I make a few of these glass jars full of different types of pickles, and then leave them at the side of one of my counters, and it's just beautiful to look at. It adds more color to our kitchen. As you can see, our cabinets are white, so a little bit of a color will goes a long way. Hi, Enrique. Sonia, we're making pickled vegetables in using white vinegar and type of mixture, spices of turmeric, salt, some herbs like tarragon, and we boil the carrots and celery to make him ready, so we don't have to wait a few weeks for it to be ready. And added, after it got to the boiling point, we added the cauliflower and cucumber to preserve the crunchiness of it. Now we're letting it simmer for about 5-10 minutes, and once it's ready, we're gonna more of a, like, put it in the stainless steel bowl that I put in here to have an indirect blanching step. And thanks, Jose. I have a few of those pots. How do I use what? Sonia, can you be more specific? The pickles? If you mean the pickles, we're actually, that would be, that we put on a table to be eaten by food. You can make the cuts much smaller and use it on sandwiches. And I don't have a brand on that pot. I said that earlier, that I actually got some of my stuff at Home Goods or Home Sense a while back. But I'll check later on after it cools down. It is similar to a relish, but we don't use any, we don't make a brine. This is purely vinegar. So there is no water added to it. But it's so delicious. I highly recommend it. You can add as much spice to it as you wish, depending on your palate, or not make it spicy at all and make it simpler for different desires. I learned how to make this from my grandma, and that's a family recipe, especially with the mixture of herbs. I'm planning to make an actual video and put it on our channel. If you like and subscribe and keep up with what we're doing, most likely you will see all the details of how you make this, and with the exact ingredient amounts, etc. We are based on the East Coast in the US, and near Washington, D.C. vegetable. Philly's good. Philly's a foodie town. I go to Philly all the time. Vegas is good as well. Silver Spring. Wow. What are the odds? I'm not too far from that. Hello, Mona. Awesome. You can see how the turmeric color kind of like merged into the cauliflower and made it yellowish and kind of like transferred the flavor into it. It's fairly hot at this point. At this point, it's fairly hot, and it's almost ready to be blanched. So for blanching, what we do is we have to have a double boiler blanching. What it means, like you have one bowl with ice or cold water, and on the second bowl you put the ingredients after you remove it from the hot plate, and easily cool down the temperature as soon as you possibly can. Sometimes you may have to re-ice the bowl to make it faster, as this is a hot mixture. It will melt. It would melt the ice. I have lived in Alexandria. I've never lived in Arlington, Florida. You're in a warm spot this time of the year. You make us jealous, huh? Today's a cold day in the area. In our past live video, we made homemade yogurt. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sonia. We made homemade yogurt, and as you all know, the yogurt needs to ferment, and it takes a day or two to be prepared because you have to let it ferment and get to the yogurt texture, and then you leave it in the fridge. Now it's ready to it's ready, and I can bring out and show it to you as y'all are waiting for the other one, or I think we're gonna wait for the mixture to cool down to show you that yogurt. I'm sure you're all gonna like the pot that I made the yogurt in. It's it's a clay pot, and it has a very nice color. So it's ready to be transferred. It's hot, but I'm gonna try to show you that. Ooh. So the cucumber is still crunchy. The carrots are slightly softened, not as soft, but they are ready to actually be served tomorrow, or even like, you know, later tonight once it's cooled down. I can smell the vinegar in the room at this point, which if you're not for the smell of vinegar in your environment, use the hood in your kitchen, or if you have an outside possibility, take it outside and use it on your, like, you know, grill flame to get it to this temperature. While in the double bowl, you kind of like mix it and not too much because you may hurt the texture. Write a recipe book. Thank you. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I'm actually a food scientist, so but that's a different story. But I love cooking, and I've been cooking since I was 10, 11, next to my grandma. That was one of my favorite part of staying at grandma's house. I'm sure everybody's time at grandma's house always joyful and memorable. I'm gonna try to see if I could show you one of the so I'm using a spoon. This is rather soft. I can actually break it with my hand. The slices should not be like so thick, but if you like it thicker, like you can do it. I'm loving this. So we're still letting this cool down a little bit. And this is the yogurt that I promised. And we've made this previously. If you want to go back to our previous live video, you can see that. This is a clay pot. I've had this for at least a decade as a gift. And this is the yogurt that we made. And as you can see, it's very stable. It's not moving. I use whole milk, and I had some yogurt from the past, so I've had a batch, I would say, homemade starter that I have been using, and this is what the texture looks like. It's pretty creamy, as I like it. You can make tzatziki with this. You can add honey on top of it, or fruits if you will, and serve it, or even serve it as a plain yogurt, as a protein mix that you would eat. So I love yogurt. It's one of my favorite protein added food ingredients. So I've been told to mention that it's a great source of probiotic. And again, it's great as you're adding a protein to your breakfast or a midnight snack. It's better than milk and cereal. I've tried it, and that works for me. We're actually this is a vegetable pickled vegetables, and it is we bring it on the table as a side dish, not necessarily a main dish, because it's made with vinegar and some mixed vegetables, cauliflower, carrots, cucumber, celery, hot pepper, and now we are actually we need to cool this down to make sure it's not cooking the vegetables anymore. So I want you all to see what it looks like when you transfer it. So I think this is a better angle. One of the good face mask recipe that I've used has been yogurt and turmeric and teaspoon of lemon juice. That's actually really good for brightening the skin. So not only has the good health, good GI health effects on your body, but also you can use it for your skin, especially in a cold season like this when the skin gets dry, and nourish it. Yes, we actually sell that in our community in this area. Nu. Det börjar se ut som ett ball. As you can see, it is almost ready. We want the vinegar to drop the temperature a little bit before we add to the entire mixture, because the hotter the vinegar, the softer this will get, and it will lose its crunchy texture. This is not an actually soup, Derek. This is a pickled vegetable, but we're making it with a special recipe. As I've said before, it's my grandma's recipe with mixed vegetables, vinegar, and some spices and herbs. Hi, Derek. Listeners. You can use smaller jars and make multiple to give it to your neighbors and friends, and or keep one for me. What brand do you like, Sonia? This is not a typical pickled vegetable though.